Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We studying different type of maf'ul. The first one we studied in the last session. Al-maf'ul mahu. Just a bit of revision. Al-maf'ul mahu is kalimatun mansubatun. Is a word which is mansub. Tadullu ala shay'in, which indicates something. Kana ma'al fi'l al-asasi, which is with the main verb fil jumlati in the sentence. So this is the maf'ul which is mansub, and it indicates something about the fi'l, the main verb in the sentence. We did some examples. Yakunu qabla al maf'ul mahu harful wawi. Before this maf'ul there is a harf particle waw. Ismuha, its name is wawul ma'iyyati, is called wawul ma'iyyati, wahiya mukhtalifatun an wawil atfi, and this is different from wawil atf, the waw for connection that we use. This waw is different. So that we studied last time al-maf'ul mahu, and then we studied al-maf'ul lahu. Al-maf'ul lahu is kalimatun mansubatun. Again all maf'ul are mansub, so this is the word which is mansub. Taqulu limaza fa'ala al-fa'ilu hazal fil, which indicates why, which tells why the file did this fail, which tells why the file did this action. Wahiya takunu daiman masdaran, and this is always masdar. And then we studied al-maf'ul mutlaq. Al-maf'ul mutlaq actually explains three different type of things. Huwa masdarun nafsil fi'l al-asasi. So this maf'ul mutlaq is the masdar of the same verb, of the same main verb in the sentence. Wa huwa mansubun, and is mansub. So this is actually the masdar of the same verb in the sentence. And then what it explains. Nastakhdimuhu litukid al-fi'li, we use it for the emphasis on the verb. Indama yakunu bidun sifa or mudaf ilayh. So when this masdar is without the sifa or without mudaf ilayh, then this is used for the emphasis on the verb. Aw linubayyina naw al-fi'li indama yakunu ba'dahu sifa or aw mudaf ilayh. And if this is followed by a sifa or mudaf ilayh, I mean if is the sifa or mudaf ilayh that comes after it, then it explains the kind of the verb. Nawul fi'li. And then in aw liyubayyina adada marati hadusil fi'li, or if it has the number, then it explains the how many times the action happened. We went through the example. We will go through some more example in the main lesson. So this is the maf'ul mutlaq. The main thing is that this is the masdar from the same verb. And then we also studied an-naibu anil maf'ulil mutlaq, the deputy of maf'ul mutlaq. So sometime maf'ul mutlaq is not there, but it has some other word taking its function, carrying its function and doing the same thing, and this is called an-naibu anil maf'ul mutlaq. So how we can find it? So indama nastakhdimu sifat al-maf'ul mutlaq, when we use the sifa, the adjective of the maf'ul mutlaq, wa nahzifuhu min al-jumla, but we omit the maf'ul mutlaq from the sentence. The sifa is there, but maf'ul mutlaq is not there. Then takunu hazihi sifatu naiban anil maf'ul mutlaq, then that sifa becomes the deputy of the maf'ul mutlaq. This is number one. I mean, this is the one of the possibilities. The second is indama nastakhdimu kalima kulla, when we use the word kulla as mudaf, mudafatan, wal masdara, and the masdar of the verb which is of the same verb as mudaf alay, tukunu kalimatu kulla, then the word kulla becomes naiban anil maful mutlaq, then it becomes the deputy of the maful mutlaq. And the third possibility is indama nastakhdimu kalimata marrataini, when we use some word which the word for the number like marrataini or salasa marratin, twice, thrice, or ayya kalimatin tubayyinul adad, or any other word which specifies the number. وَلَيْسَتْ مَصْدَرُ الْفِعْلِ الْأَسَاسِي فِي الْجُمْلَةِ, and without the masdar of the same verb in the sentence, tukunu hazihil kalimatu, then all these numbers they become naiban anil maful mutlaq, they become the deputy of the maful mutlaq. So those were three different types of the words that become naibu anil maful mutlaq. So that this is a summary from the last session. Today, before we go to the main lesson, we do some i'rab. Here is the first one. Dakhalu bihi alal khalifati wa maw'ida ijtima'il khalifati bin nasi. They entered with him, or they brought him to the caliph at the appointed time of the gathering of the caliph with the people. So when we see that maw'ida, that is maful mahu, and this is waw is al wawul mayyati. So this is a verbal sentence starting from a verb. So is jumla failure, and the verb is here is actually dakhala yadkhulu. So with whom is dakhalu, and waw is the file which represents whom, and bihi is shibu jumla, jarun wa majrurun, alal khalifati same jarun wa majrurun, and wa maw'ida, waw is wawul ma'iyyati, and maw'ida is this is the maful mahu, and then this becomes mudaf, and then ijtima is mudaf alay, and then this becomes mudaf, and khalifati mudaf alay, and bin nasi is al jaru wal majrur. So this is we have some explanation here. Al i'rab dakhalu is fi'l madin mabni ala dammi, has a damma, and waw is damirun mabni ala sukun fi mahalli rafin fa'il, and the waw is the fa'il which is whom. Bihi, bi is harfu jarrin mabni, and he is damirun muttasilun mabni ala dammi fi mahalli jarrin ba'da ba. So this he is a attached pronoun which is as coming as fi mahalli jar ism majroor. So bihi is jarun wa majroorun. Then ala is harfu jarrin mabni, is again harfu jar, and al khalifati ism majroor ba'da ala walamatul jarri al kasra, has a kasra here. Waw is wawul mayyati harfun la mahalli lahu min al i'rab, and this has no function in the i'rab. Maw'ida is mafulun mahu mansubun walamatun nasbi al fatha. This is the kind of maful that we have studied, that is followed by waw, and its sign being mansub is the fatha sign here, and then this becomes mudaf, and then ijtima is mudaf alay majrurun walamatul jarri al kasra, and then this becomes mudaf, and then al khalifati mudaf alay majrur walamatul jarri al kasra, and bin nasi al ba'u harfu jarrin mabni, and an nasi ism majrurun ba'da ba walamatul jarri al kasra, and this is bin nasi al jaru wal majruru. So that is the i'rab on this sentence. The next one is amana bil arabiyyi khawfan min sabril khalifati alayhi. He believed the Bedouin out of fear from the patience of the caliph upon him, upon the Bedouin. So again starting from a verb, so is the jumla failure, and the fail is amana, amana yuminu, and bil irabi is jarun wa majrurun, khawfan is so this is the other type of maf'ul, maf'ul lahu, because this shows why the doer or the file did the action. So the file which is hidden pronoun here hua, he believed. Why he believed? Out of fear, khawfan. So khawfan is maf'ul lahu, and then min sabri is jarun wa majrurun, and then sabr becomes mudaf, and al khalifati mudaf alayhi jarun wa majrurun. So here is the explanation. Amana is fi'l madin mabniun al fathi, has fatha, and then bil arabiyyi al ba'u harfu jarrin mabni, and then al arabiyyi ism majrurun ba'da ba alamatul jarri al kasra, has a kasra, and khawfan is maf'ul lahu mansubun wal alamatul nasbi al fatha, and min is harfu jarrin mabni al sukun, has a sukun here, and then sabri ismun majrurun ba'da min wal alamatul jarri al kasra, then this jarun majrurun, and then it becomes mudaf, and then al khalifati mudafun alayhi majrurun wal alamatul jarri al kasra, and then in alayhi two words, Allah is harfu jarrin mabni ala sukun, and then he is damirun muttasilun mabni ala dammi fi mahalli jarrin ba'da ila. So, and the next one is rumiya fin nari ramiyan, he was thrown in the fire. So ramiyan is the masdar from the same verb. So this is and this has no sifa after it. So this is then the purpose of using this is to put emphasis on the verb. Like he was thrown in the fire, like really something is thrown. And then it's again starting from the verb. So is jumla failiya, and the fail is rumiya, which is the passive voice, mabniun lil majhul. Fin nari is jarun wa majrurun shibu jumla, and then in rumiya is there is no damirun mustatirun, the naib file is hidden pronoun, and then ramiyan is maf'ul mutlaq. And then we have irab here. Rumiya is fi'l madin mabni al fathi mabni lil majhul is the passive voice, and then naibu fa'ili, when for passive voice we look for naib fa'il, naibul fa'ili damirun mustatir taqdiru huwa is the hidden pronoun in it, which is huwa, and fi is harfu jarrin mabni ala sukun, an nari ismun majrurun ba'da fi alamatul jarri al kasra, and then ramiyan is maf'ulun mutlaqun mansubun alamatul nasbi al fatha. The next one is intizaran kalilan. So is like intazir kalilan. So is actually the masdar is omitted, is like intazir intizaran kalilan. So when the masdar is omitted but the sifa of the masdar is there, then the sifa takes the place of the maf'ul mutlaq and becomes the deputy of the maf'ul mutlaq. So then it becomes the naibun anil maf'ul mutlaq. So this is jumla failiya starting from a verb. Al jumla in fail is intazir, fa'il is damirun mustatirun, fa'il is hidden, qalilan is naibun anil maf'ul mutlaq. So i'rab here, intazir is fi'lu amrin, intazara yantaziru, and intazir is the fi'lu amrin mabniun ala sukun, and the fa'il is damirun mustatirun taqdiru anta, because it's fi'lu amrin, has to be one of the pronoun, second person pronoun, so is for anta, and qalilan is naibun anil maf'ul mutlaq mansubun alamatun nasbi al fatha. The next one is al aqdiru alayha kullal maqdira. I am able to do it. I'm fully capable of doing it. So this is the verb qadara yaqdiru, and for ana aqdiru. So this is jumla failiya starting from a verb, and fail is aqdiru. Fa'il is damirun mustatirun, which is ana, and alayha is shibu jumla jarun wa majrurun, kulla is naibun. Now in this case the masdar is becoming the mudaf ilayhi of kulla, so then masdar is transferring its power to kulla, then kulla becomes the naibun anil maf'ul mutlaq and is mansoob. So here is the i'rab. Aqdiru fi'lun mudari marfu'un wa alamatu rafi ad-damma, and al-fa'ilu damirun mustatirun taqdiruhu ana, which is the ana is the file. Alayha, ala is harfu jarrin mabni ala sukun, and ha is damirun muttasirun mabni ala sukun fi mahalli jarrin ba'da ila, so is ism majrur. Kulla is, like I said, kulla is naibun anil maf'ulil mutlaq mansubun wa alamatun nasbi al fatha, and then al maqdira is mudafun ilayhi majrurun wa alamatul jarri al kasra. So that was all the i'rab. Now we go through the main lesson, which is lesson number 14. Ana awwalul mu'minin, I am the first of the believers, and we gonna identify all the maf'ul that we have, different types of maf'ul that we have studied in this lesson. Kutubul adabi al adabil arabiyyi maliyat, the literature books of Arabic maliyatun are full of bin nawadiri, full of nawadir. So nawadir is like an anecdotes, like a short, interesting or amusing story about a real incident or person. And it also explains here, wan nawadiru hikayatun, and the nawadir are the stories, fiha, in them, bazul hikmati, there is some wisdom, wal kasiru minal fukahati, and there is some wisdom, but mostly it is fukahati is mostly is humorous, they are humorous. Abtalu hazil hakayati, the heroes of these stories, hum adatun, they are normally minal arabi, they are normally Bedouins. Ayyi al badwi, the Bedouin, allazina, those are mazalu, who are still ala tabiyatihim, who are still on their nature, or who are still like they have the same nature, simplicity, they are not like very clever, or so whatever their tabiyat is, they are on the same nature. In wamin hazihin nawadiri, and from so we talking about those nawadir, a different type of story. So it's one of that nawadir is given here. So this is the story starts from here. Yuhka anna Arabian, it is narrated that a Bedouin, Arabian adda nabuwata, that a Bedouin he claimed a prophethood. So some Bedouin he claimed prophethood. Sakahul harasu, and the guard he caught him. Wadakhalu bihi alal khalifati, and they brought him to the caliph. Wa mau'idati ijtima'il khalifati bin nasi, at the appointed time of the gathering of the caliph with the people. When the caliph meets with the people, they brought him at that time. So this we have just studied. Mau'ida is maf'ul mahu. So and al-waw is al-wawul ma'iyati, and mau'ida is maf'ul mahu. Summa dara bainal khalifati, and then dara yaduru, to take place, this is the verb, then the between the caliph and the Bedouin, hazal hiwaru, this dialogue takes place. So now here is the dialogue. Al khalifatu, khalifa is asking, hal anta nabiyun haqqan, are you a true prophet? Al arabiyu, he is saying naam, yes. Al khalifatu, hal, the caliph is asking, hal indaka dalilun aw mujizatun, do you have any dalil, any argument or any miracle? Al arabiyu, he is saying taban, of course. So we also studied in the last time that taban is maf'ul mutlaq, but we don't see the verb here, which is mahzuf, which is understandable. like in this case is yatba'u taban. Of course, he has. Al Khalifatu fama hiya mujzatuka. So what is your miracle? Ala Arabiyu, he's saying ayya mujzatin turidu. What miracle you want? Khalifa is saying uridu mujzata Ibrahim. I want the miracle of Ibrahim. Faqad rumiya fin nari ramiyan. He was thrown in the fire. Like so ramiyan is maful mutlaq, which is used for the emphasis on the verb rumiyan, like he was thrown in the fire, like really if the way the something is thrown in the fire, he was thrown in the fire. Summa kharaja saliman, and he came out safe and sound. Saliman. So in this case we don't see the masdar of the verb, but we see the sifa. So the maful mutlaq, he disappeared, or he is not there, but he transferred his power to the sifa. So that is why we will call this naibun anil maful mutlaq. So this is the naib anil maful mutlaq. Al Arabiyu afwan. Again this is maful mutlaq, but the verb, this masdar, the verb is omitted. So which is understandable, is like afu afwan, pardon me, ya mawlaya, oh my lord, for hazihil mujzatu la aqdiru alayha. So he's saying he's regretting that this type of mujza, miracle, he is not, or he's unable to perform. Ghazib al Khalifatu, the caliph became angry. Wakala, and he said, isn't for mujzata Musa, then what about the miracle of Moses? Faqad zarab al bahra, when he hit the sea, biyasahu, with his stick or with his staff, fanshakka, then it parted, or it got split. So he is asking, can you do that? Al Arabiyu, the Bedouin, again he is uzran, so is again maful mutlaq, but the verb is omitted, so is like aziru uzran, is like I apologize, or I am sorry, ya oh my lord, fa hazihi aidan la aqdiru alayha, I am also not able to do it, to perform it. So now the caliph, he asked him to do 2 miracles, but he simply regretted that he cannot do those miracles. Which ishtala ghazabahu khalifa, to the anger of the caliph, it flared up. Ishtala, to flare up or to ignite, so it went up. Wakala, and he said, for mujzata Isa, and so what about the miracle of Jesus? Allazi aqamal mauta, who raised the dead, min kuburihim, from their graves. So he said, what about that? Can you do it? Can you raise the dead from the qabr? Farihal Arabiyu. So the Bedouin, he was happy when he, on the third request, he became fariha, he rejoiced. The Bedouin became happy. Wakala, and he said, Sa'altani swalaini, you asked me 2 questions. So swalaini, swalan is the masdar from the verb same sa'ala, and then swalani is marfu, swalaini is mansub. So this is mansub. So now this is maful mutlaq, because it's the masdar of the same verb. And then because it explains the number of times the action took place, so then it is used to liyubayyina adada marratin hadus al fi'l, that to specify how many times the action happened. So and this 2 times the question was asked, that he said no, and then this is so for fashiltu marrataini, you asked me 2 questions, and for fashiltu marrataini, and I was failed twice. Yeah, I mean I was not able to fulfill those requests. Ihqaqan lil haqqi ya Mawlaya, and to establish the truth. So ihqaqan again is the masdar, but the verb is omitted. So this is like ahikku ihqaqan, and is maf'ul mutlaq, to uphold, to establish the truth. O my Lord, faqad sabarta alayya, you were very patient. Jamilan, beautiful, very beautifully patient, or very patient. So now this sabarta is the from verb sabara, and the sabran is the masdar from the verb, but this is followed by the sifa. So when this is followed by the sifa, then is maf'ul mutlaq, but its purpose is to show the kind of action. Yaqulu masdar ma no al feli. So the masdar tells what is the kind of the verb, what is this kind of action. So he said, you were very patient upon me, and even though I failed twice, but he's saying hazihil mujzatu, this miracle, ana akdiru, I am able, alayha kullul makdirati, I am fully capable of doing that. So the people were like amazed when he said that he can raise up somebody alive from the grave. So andahashan nasu, the people were amazed. Wasakatu kana ala rausihim taira, and they became silent, they became very still or silent, like if the birds are sitting on their heads. Intizaran, so why they became silent? Intizaran, waiting. Lima sayakuluhu khalifa, waiting to see that what caliph will tell him next, what he will tell him, how to perform this miracle. So now intizaran is the masdar, so is maf'ul, and this masdar explains why this action was happened, why the file did this action. They became the sakatu, they were silent because they now started waiting what the caliph will tell. So this is maf'ul lahu. Now caliph is asking, wa kaifa tuhyil mauta, how you will give life to the dead. Al Arabiyu, the Bedouin, is saying, Sa'afsilu rasal qadi, I will cut off the head of the judge, of the qadi, an jasadihi, from his body, faslan. So faslan is coming from the verb, the masdar from the verb, and so this is, there is no sifa after it, so this is used to put emphasis on the verb, like the way the head is cut off, he will do it, faslan. So this is maf'ul mutlaq, and this is for the purpose of litukidil faili, for the purpose of emphasis on the fail. He said he will cut off the head of the qadi, the judge, from his body. Summa unadihi, and then I will call him, fayakumu hayyan, and then he will raise up alive. Sarakhal qadi, when the judge he heard, he screamed, suraha. So suraha is from the verb, is the masdar from the verb sarakha, but now this is followed by, there is no sifa, but there is the mudaf alayhi after it. Surakha man, the scream of who. So this is mudaf alayhi coming. When this happens, then this surakha, then it shows like the sifa, it shows what kind of what is the kind of the action. So surakha, maf'ul mutlaq, and this tells masdar ma nawal faili, what is the kind of the fail, what is the kind of the action. So what the type of the scream that was. So the scream of the judge was like a scream of someone, suraha man ra'al mauta bi aynayhi, who saw the death, with his own eyes. So if somebody has seen somebody being cut off his head, that his head be cut off, so his feeling was of the same person. So this suraha is maful mutlaq, which shows, which is used to show the type of the action. Novel faili. So then the judge, he screamed waqala lil arabi, and then he said to the Bedouin, intazir, wait qalilan. So this is the sentence, like this is like intazir intazaran qalilan, but we don't see the intazaran, which is mahzoof. So maful mutlaq is mahzoof here, but he transferred his power to qalilan. That is why, because sifa does not come without its mawsoof, but the mawsoof is not here. So that's why we will say that this is naibun anil maful mutlaq. So this is the deputy of maful mutlaq. Intazir qalilan, wait a while, wait a little. So he said to the Bedouin, wait a minute, wait a moment. Fa'ana, and I wallahi, by God, awwalul mu'minina bika. He's before the caliph would say something, he said just a minute, I am the first of the believers in you. Zahika nasu, the people laughed, alal qadi, upon the caliph, on the judge, not the caliph, on the judge, allazi amana bil arabi, who believed the Bedouin. So why he believed the Bedouin? Khawfan, out of fear, min sabr al khalifati ilayhi, because the caliph was very patient upon him. So he just feared that, okay, if the caliph would say, okay, do it, then what would happen? So he just believed the Bedouin out of fear. So now this is masdar, which explains why he believed, why the action was taken. So this is then called maf'ul lahu. So that's the end of the story. In this one, we did some i'rab. Let's also put i'rab on this sentence. So this verb is zahika yazhaku. So zahika is the past tense. Fi'lu madin mabni al fathi, has a fatah here, and annasu is the marfu ism, which coming after. So is the fa'il, fa'ilun marfuun walamatur rafi ad-damma, is damma, and then ala is harfu jarrin mabni ala sukoon, and then al qadi is ismun majrurun walamatul jarri al kasratil muqaddara. There is an estimated kasra which we don't see because of the heaviness of the word. So we will say kasratil muqaddara, and this is ism majrur, and then allazi ismun mawsulun mabniun ala sukun fi mahalli jarrin, and then is ism mawsul, and this is mabni fi mahalli jarrin sifa for qadi, because this is majrur. And then the verb amana is another verb, which is amana yuminu. Amana is the past tense, to believe. Amana is fi'lu madin mabni al fathi, and the file, what about the file? The file hu dhamirun mustatirun fihi taqdir, the file is hidden pronoun, which is huwa. And then khawfan is maf'ulun lahu mansubun walamatun nasbi al fatah, and then min is harfu jarrin mabni al sukoon, and then sabari is ismun majrurun walamatul jarri al kasra wa huwa mudaf, and then khalifati is mudaf li majrurun walamatul jarri al kasra, and then alayhi, Allah is harfu jarrin mabni al sukoon, and then he is actually damirun muttasilun mabni ala dammi fi mahalli jarrin ism majrur. And then jumla fi'liya amana bil i'rabi, this whole jumla fi'liya is the silatul mawsul for ism mawsul, and that has la mahalli laha min al i'rab, that has no place in the i'rab. So that completes this the main lesson. We will do in the next session al-lughwiyat, some qawaid, some linguistics, and then we'll do the exercises. So I'm going to stop it here now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.